Welcome back to the Manor. Julian McBain here, and we are back with Palworld. So today we're going to be reviewing the patch notes for patch 0.1.5.1. This is for both Steam and Xbox. Steam has been, as of the last post I saw from the Palworld English Twitter post, and this is where I'm getting these patch notes. The Steam version has been released. The Xbox is still being worked on. I would suspect that if it hasn't been released by the time you watch this video today, it would probably be released early Monday or Tuesday. So just hang tight, Xbox players. I know that there's some compatibility between Steam, Windows, and Xbox that needs to be kind of ironed out. So let's get into the patch notes. So first let's talk about major fixes. This one's kind of generic this time around. The entire patch notes fixed various game crashes, which is good. Like, we don't like it when our game crashes in the middle of the game, but Pocket Pair, you could have been a little more specific as to which game crashes or what was causing them, because that's kind of mysterious. I mean, really, guys, just an idea of what might have been causing it. Like, the game keeps randomly crashing when you pick up a particular chickpea that's got the ID like 0568EF exclamation point, something like that. So I get it. They don't want to necessarily get into the weeds by telling us what every crash was being caused by, because a lot of it's probably by, like, resolved an issue where the game would crash when you picked up this object because someone forgot to put a fucking semicolon into the code. Balance adjustments. They fixed a bug where breeding pals always had fixed passives, which I'm not super familiar with that aspect, but okay. Fixed an issue where the increase in condensation progress was incorrect when using PAL of rank 2 or higher as a condensation material. It will increase by the number of PALs used in previous condensation. As I have not bred PALs, and I honestly don't know what any of that means. I think that you can, like, condense multiple PALs into a single, or to get, like, PAL essence out of them. Someone who knows more about that process, would you please drop a comment just so that you can verify or refute what I've said? Dungeon issues. Fixed an issue where the innermost door would not open after defeating the boss of a random dungeon. That would be one hell of a pisser. I mean, think about it. Behind that door is often your treasure and the easy exit to the dungeon, so you don't have to, spelunk your way back out of it. That would kind of suck if you got through the whole dungeon, you beat the boss, and then, sorry, no treasure. And that's where you get, like, a lot of ancient tech parts, whatever the hell they're called. So it's like, ugh. But I'm glad to hear that they fixed it. That's good. And I mean, to be fair to Pocket Pair, this is an early access game. They've been very clear about that. So I'm not really going to rag on them for stuff like this when they're like, we want you to play the game because we think it's really great and we want you to give us opinions, but the game's only 60% complete and we're going to say that right out front. Fair. Fair. PALs. Fixed an issue where the name of a PAL would not change even after renaming them. How many people snapped their keyboards in half after they tried renaming their PAL something 6 times and it didn't work? Although, I can get behind some of these issues, because I know plenty of people that would go into Palworld just to be able to name some of their PALs extremely vulgar names. Dollars to Donuts, Count Dankula plays this game, and Dollars to Donuts says that he has some sort of Belen joke on one of his pals. Guaranteed. I mean, considering the name he gave himself on Twitter that then Elon Musk locked him out of being able to change for 6 months, that was fucking hilarious. You know what? That's what he gets for taking a picture of his junk and putting it on Twitter for all to see. And then someone put anime eyes on it. That was funny as hell. Server issues. Fixed an issue where it was not possible to search for spaces or Japanese-Chinese characters in the server list. So I can totally see where this would be an issue, especially for localization. And if you're on an English keyboard and you're trying to search for a server that has kanji in the name, for those of you who don't know, kanji is a Japanese term for Chinese characters that they use in their alphabet. That's a pretty big problem. That's a pretty big problem. So kudos to Pocket Pair for getting through that, but it's a totally understandable flaw, because Of course it is. Fixed so that if the server is no longer registered on the server list, it will be re-registered without needing to restart the server. So my guess is that a server is only registered while there are people using it, and then once you stop using it, it deregisters the server so that it saves on memory space. Well, I'm willing to bet if you tried to get back into it, let's say you're the owner of the server, you'd have to restart the whole thing, which might nuke some progress in some places in order for it to get back on the list. Again, that's an educated guess, but if that's the case, then I'm glad to see that they fixed it. Fixed an issue where settings to enable Archon were not loaded from the configuration file. I don't even know what Archon is. If someone does know what Archon is, please drop a comment. And then finally, we are currently working on an issue where autosave fails on the Xbox and Xbox Game Pass version. We expect this will be resolved in an upcoming update. Okay, I do have a commentary on this one. And I think this is something that a lot of us who have been in gaming for a very long time, sometimes we have an issue with the way that games development has moved. Now keep in mind, I'm 40, so I've been playing video games since I was 6. Which means I remember the days where you could actually have the battery in your cartridge die, and then you lose your save progress. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm coming from at this one. Like, shit happens. But here's where relying on autosave all the time can be a problem. It's like, if it's always on autosave, what if the autosave fails? Well, then you lose all your progress. I think it would be a good idea for Pocket Pair to explore the idea of having a manual save in their game so that at least you know you can, especially for like single player, that way you know the localized settings will not be lost, because people put hundreds of hours into games like this. And I know I've got some people who play Pokemon that watch this channel, or even Final Fantasy. How many hours have you put into some of those games? I know I've put well over 100 hours into Final Fantasy VIII. I've got a friend who literally, he maxed out the timer in Final Fantasy VII. Keep in mind, the timer in Final Fantasy VII stops at 99 hours and 99 minutes. Let that sink in for just a moment. 99 hours and 99 minutes. And he had maxed that sucker out and he was still playing. Why was he still playing? Because he swore up and down he would not stop playing until he defeated Emerald Weapon. To my knowledge, to this day, he still has not defeated Emerald Weapon. That being said, I haven't talked to him in like 20 years, so... Little David, if you're watching this channel by any stretch of the imagination, drop me a line. You should still have my phone number. Tell me if you beat Emerald Weapon. So yeah, Pocket Pair is putting out some good stuff. They're doing a lot of work. They've put in the effort. They've done a lot of respectable things. And I think that this is one of the things that I was grousing about in my AAA developer critique. They're putting in the work that AAA developers wouldn't bother doing. And they're hyper communicative. Their CEO does customer service on Twitter for them. And he actually engages with... Oh wait, no, that's the Helldivers CEO. That's the Helldivers CEO. But I mean, they still have their active Twitter account, so it may not be the CEO behind that Twitter account, but Pocket Pair is very responsive to questions. This is the way developers should be. Like, I don't know when developers decided they no longer needed to engage with the client base or the customer base, but this is the way it should be. And so I find it to be very impressive. What I find not impressive is the fact that you can aggro shit you never meant to aggro because it came running at a different mod that had already aggroed it and decided to run by you. And the reason I mention that is here shortly in the video, if I'm not mistaken, one of those big-ass green things is going to come after me because I got between it and those syndicate members. And after we were done with the syndicate members, it decided that I was a threat too. Yep, this is where it would be. And by the way, those big green guys will rock your shit if you are under level. It's not funny. It's just like they will rock your shit. Yeah, see, they automatically aggro. That's I will say this. So watching this video the way it's playing now, and this wasn't going to be part of my original, but this is important. I think that they could be a little bit more circumspect with how mob aggro works. So like, you're gonna have some aggressive mobs, but having the PAL ignore the people actively shooting at it to attack me just because I'm closer, that's something I find to be a little foolish. And although I know, like, it's hard, right? Computer engineering is hard. And I totally understand why that could be a difficult thing for them to program. But a great example of this is right here, where I'm running away from the mobs, and the only reason they're chasing me instead of trying to kill each other is because I'm a player character. And that can be a very frustrating place to be. So, and I don't... Did I get away here? Maybe I did get away here. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like, I just had all those mobs coming after me when they were all attacking each other. And my big transgression was to decide, you know what? I don't want anything to do with this fight. So, okay, guys, that's all I got for today. For everyone who's new here, I want to welcome you. I really want to thank you for joining us on this journey. So, let's go get these pals. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, I really appreciate the support, and we will see you in the next one.